you gave me a call at halftime, and what did you say about this game at that point at halftime?
I said survive in advance. I could tell, you could tell by the way the first half was going that this was the type of game where Michigan, well, Maryland, I believe, came to play. I mean, and I'll say that just purely based on the fact of how more disciplined they were this week compared to last week. Last week they had 15 penalties for 140 plus yards. Today I think they had maybe one, two tops in terms of penalties. They played a way more disciplined football game this week. Maryland came to play, and I think Michigan was a little bit more sloppy, pretty much on all sides of the ball, especially defensively. I mean, on the first half they couldn't get any pressure, and I'm like, you know what? This has to feel one of those games that we're going to have to try to grind and survive. Maybe I was trying to have a little hindsight and big picture outlook, at halftime. Maybe this is one of those games where, on paper, it doesn't make sense that it's tight, but for whatever reason, we're struggling to make it through. Let's just try to get to the finish line, get the win, take a step back, look at the film, and see what we need to do to get ready for Iowa. And I'm not normally like that, but it felt like one of those type of games.
And what I feel like is we have flip flopped on our stance, and here's what I mean by that. When I posed a question to you before the season started of what is this team's ceiling? What if all the breaks go their way, the things that you need to happen go your way? You have when it comes to winning a national championship, you need some luck in that. And we talked about what is the ceiling, and yours was essentially a replica of last year, getting to the playoff, losing that first playoff game. And my thought was there's no reason that Michigan can't win a national championship. They have the talent, they have the guy at quarterback, they have the weapons on offense, they have the O-line. They have what you need to win a national championship. This game today was not it. This was not it. This was not a survive in advance. That you were better than Maryland, and you struggled the entire game. I mean, think about this, Dre. If that opening kickoff fumble does not happen, you go into the half down 13-10. You're losing that game if you're not handed a touchdown. That is about as close to, outside of a scoop and score, that's as close to handing a team a touchdown as you will ever get. And you went down, you're going into the half, and I get it. You're winning the game, so it doesn't matter. It's 17-13, but you were way better than Maryland. But Maryland came out and threw the ball. I mean, here's the difficult part for me. If it was just they had success on offense by throwing the ball, I could live with that. But they had success running the ball as well. Like this, to me, this is a bit of a concerning game for me if I'm looking at Michigan as if they potentially can win a Big Ten title, a national championship. Because to me, I think, and I would imagine everybody who's viewing us right now would also agree, Ohio State's a better offense than what you've dealt with today. And if you're telling me that 27 points, and granted there were some, scores in garbage time, so is what it is. But if you're telling me Maryland can get 27 on you and you scored 34 on them, also with that gimme touchdown, I have concerns. I have a lot of concerns. And I get it, and maybe today's just funky, right?
Yeah,
Because Clemson beat Wake Forest by a touchdown. So maybe
right.
it's just a weird day, but I this doesn't make me feel good. This doesn't mean I
No,
think you'll be fine against Iowa and things like that. But
right.
when we're talking about playing the best of the best in the Big Ten, this doesn't make me feel great. You know what I mean?
Right, and by no means was I insinuating that when I was saying survive in
Correct.
advance. I was talking about in the moment. Now, in terms of what this means for the trajectory of this team, look, this was not a good sign, right? JJ, you know how JJ looked today. He looked exactly how he should look, right? And part of the reason why we told people, hey, pump the brakes on JJ has arrived. Michigan's about to take the next step. Now, hear me clearly. That's not to say that it won't happen, but it was, this kid is young. he doesn't have a lot of starter experience. It's a different deal. He's going to go through growing pains. And you saw that today. For God's sakes, please get down. JJ has to learn when to kill plays and when to extend them. He is not only going to create additional turnover opportunities, which he did today. He fumbled and he actually threw a pick, but the guy didn't get his foot down. I mean, either or, he got himself killed trying to make another play again today. Those are the type of things where he has to learn, and hopefully this is one of those really good learning experiences. Because as the competition level rises, the margin of error won't be as big.